Hello, my name is Chris and I will review the 2021 Kia Soul EV. I reviewed this vehicle recently and my thoughts have not changed much about it despite having tried a few of its direct competitors. I'll take a look at the outside, inside, powertrain, and then take it out for a drive. The exterior design, a Kia specialty, is more rounded and better looking than ever. Charming, really. Its shape does pay off on the inside with superior cargo room despite having a huge battery on the floor. A few technical notes on Soul EV. In Canada, it is offered in two trims. The base model is particularly unsuited for Canada, and let me explain why. At $43,000 Canadian, the base model only has 248 kilometers of range and does not have a heat pump. A heat pump uses much less electricity, and this is critical for Canadian winters. The engine is also weaker. It should be noted that both trims have liquid-cooled batteries, and this contributes to battery longevity. It should also be noted, Canadian winters do diminish range by 30 to 50%, especially those vehicles with no heat pump. Our all-equipped tester costs $52,000 Canadian, plus destination, plus all our awesome taxes. In Quebec, you do get a redonkulous $8,000 rebate. For the Government of Canada, it's a $5,000 rebate. Even at that, when purchased over 60 months, tax in, you're looking at nearly $900 a month. So if you're buying for economics, plan to keep your electric vehicle a very long time. However, this tester gives you cutting-edge propulsion technology, an awesome drivetrain with plenty of power, a long range of 383 kilometers, a heat pump for Canadian winters, and an interior that does not feel like a penalty box. As you can see, I have plenty of room sitting behind myself in this subcompact crossover. In front, I'm also happy. There's plenty of room and the seat comfort is class appropriate. This tester has many premium items including heated and cooled leather seats, sunroof, rain sensing wipers, HK sound system, LED interior lighting, and heated rear seats, among other things. The Kia steering wheel is a joy to hold, a key driver interface. I think I have to address the superior driving experience and livability characteristics. Clearly, the torque of this electric motor makes city driving so much better. The 383 kilometers of range does eliminate range anxiety unless you do have a long commute and don't have access to a 240 volt charging station. For example, I could feel Ross's range anxiety as I pumped up the temperature in the cabin during our shoot. It takes 59 hours to charge Soul EV for a full charge in a regular wall outlet, and nobody wants to sit around during a stage 3 charging. I think to have a happy ownership experience, you must have a parking spot, or better yet, a garage, and access to a 240 volt charging station. Also, the customer satisfaction is 100%. People who buy EVs simply do not go back to gas engines. Not going to the gas station is intoxicating. Period. I cannot overstate that. This engine makes 201 horsepower and 291 pounds of torque and is front-wheel drive only. Stage 2 charging, or 240 volt charging, takes 9.5 hours. The transmission only has one speed. Here are my thoughts on the road. Hello car lovers driving the 2021 Kia Soul EV all-equipped version. What to say about this vehicle? Well, a few things. Number one, I like the exterior styling. I find the exterior styling of Kia is maturing and is becoming very charming actually. Nice and rounded at certain areas. The light design is very nice and the color is very nice too. This Kia Soul has a practical shape on the outside. Well, that shape pays off on the inside. Plenty of storage in back, plenty of space for rear passengers, and plenty of space for me and Ross. I'm not actually rubbing elbows with him, barely, and my legs, plenty of room for my legs, plenty of room here. The window does go forward a lot. I mean, I can stick out my hand and not touch the window, but that doesn't stop the fact that there's a wonderful visibility here. Very good on that level. So a premium urban vehicle. This is a very small vehicle. It's easy to drive around. The suspension is playful and it is very easy to park, short turning radius, and its small size make it easy whether you're in parking lots or whether you're doing parallel parking in the city, which can happen often in the city of Montreal. The interior ergonomic is very familiar for me in terms of what Kias are. They're all pretty much the same. The infotainment, it's a 10.25-inch screen, pretty big, bigger than its competitors. Nice contrast, nice sharpness. Climate control interface too, very easy. You have all the amenities that you would want. Heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, which does heat up pretty fast. You have a wonderful leather steering wheel. Kias make wonderful leather steering wheels, nice and soft, the right thickness. Wonderful on that level. The dash is easy enough to read. The seats are okay-ish comfortable, I'd say. Not the best, not the worst. There is lumbar support right here, which makes it a little bit easier on the back. A note on the range, this has 380-ish some odd kilometers. You bring that down to 225 for Canadian winters, maybe 250, 275 for North American winters in the United States. And of course, if you don't have any winter, well, then that's just great for the range. A few peculiarities on the drivetrain and the optioning of this Kia Soul. When you take the lower trim model, not only does it not come with the equipment of the higher trim model, but you don't get that range. It's like 250-ish kilometers of range, and you also get a much weaker engine. So you're not saving that much. In this model, all equipped, tax in without rebates, it is $60,000 in the province of Quebec where I live. Now, of course, there is the redonkulous rebate that the Quebec government gives for $8,000 and also a very generous federal rebate of $5,000. Despite that, when purchased over 60 months, this vehicle comes out to nearly $900 a month for 60 months tax in, which is still very expensive despite all the fuel you're saving. I would have to possibly recommend the lease, or the 48-month lease. You're entitled to the full rebate, and that really reduces the lease payments. You can take a 24,000 kilometer a year lease contract and not worry about kilometers, and especially useful this vehicle if you're doing a lot of urban cycle, because you're constantly stop and go. The regenerative braking really works well. So on that level, these vehicles are made for the urban cycle, and I think you will see your money more quickly if you do the urban cycle. For example, Ross arrived at my house just before. The vehicle had 330 some odd kilometers of range. I've driven it around. We took it on the side of the river to make shots. It was on part of the time, and now it is at 321 kilometers. I can guarantee you if this was a gas model, I would have seen the needle go down much more. So really a good urban vehicle. And another benefit of the EV is the high torque. When you press on the gas, you really feel it jump forward. And also you feel you're driving the future, right? This soundless engine and this torque delivery really makes you feel you're driving the cars of the future. I just can't see a future where we're not driving these electric cars. Even though I'm not green, I mean, we're going there whether we like it or not. Also, the pleasure of not gassing up. If there's something I hate about cars, is going to put gas in my gas tank. I can't stand going to the gas station. Well, I can just imagine people who are very environmentally inclined, how they must love that even more than I do when they have this vehicle. So I certainly understand why people buy these vehicles despite their price. So I think obviously, given that it does not have that many competitors and that Kia's reliability is certainly not the worst, not the best, I would definitely recommend this vehicle on the lease. I would recommend it on the purchase. Ross would too. And those are my thoughts on the Kia EV Soul. By the way, if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And if you really like it, well, then you should subscribe. And if you really, really like it, you can click that notifications bell. But even better than the notifications bell, why don't you go follow me on Instagram? And that way, when you see pictures of vehicles come up on the feed, well, then you'll know that that's the one that's going to be reviewed in the future. By the way, I come out with videos now every Saturday. Sometimes I come out with more videos, but never less, always once a week, and it will always be on Saturday morning. And that is the review.